Good morning, Michael Walsh here. I'm Roger Norgel. Welcome to Norwal Farm. It's Monday, February the 24th. We have the barn doors wide open. It's 43 degrees this morning, so fortunately, weather has moderated a bit. These three ewes are yet to lamb. They're due on their due dates. They're due in the next 2 or 3 days. And all the goats, I looked up last year, and if you figure, well, according to their breeding dates last year, they went about 152 to 153 days. So that would put them from their breeding dates this year. They're due this week. I think that one right there, she's one of the first ones. And this doe right here, she's one of the first ones. You can see how she's really swollen there at the vulva and everything's relaxing. So I'm hoping they go this week. And that one's kind of swollen there too. So they're all supposed to land or kid within 5 days of each other, 5 or 6. So it's supposed to be really mild this week, so that would be perfect weather for kidding the goats and lambing these last ewes. And then the ewe lambs down at the barn, there's 14 of those. They're due to start the end of March, first part of April. So they're about 4 weeks away. So that should work well. If these guys get their act together and have their babies, then we can move them out. And then we'll have about 2 weeks to bring the other ewes up 2 weeks before they're due to lamb. So that would get them in here and get everything adjusted. So lambs at the building, down at the run-in shed, they're doing well as well. So this video will course over the balance of the week to show you the kids being born, the rest of the lambs being born. So thanks again for joining us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Ring the notification bell. That'll alert you of any new videos. And hit the like button. That helps our channel. And please leave us a comment and share this video with a friend. So let's get started and we'll see what happens this week. It is Monday night and number 25 has lambed. And I had a date marked down for her. And it was 16 days ago. So obviously what happened was she was serviced then. And didn't catch on that. And then she came back around in heat again. Her cycle average is about 17 days. And got bred the next time because this is a white lamb, so it's an Ile-de-France lamb, and that's the ram we use for the cleanup. We put him in after we took the Suffolk out. So she had hers tonight, and it's about 45 degrees in the barn, so that's nice. And those two ewes are doing about 2 days. So that'll be nice. We'll have these 3 lambs together, and then what will happen is we'll combine them with the Ile-de-France ewe lambs and Suffolk ewes once they have their lambs, and we'll just put them all in one big group together. So I'm going to build a pen for her right here. Just let her stay here, and then that way those 2 ewes can stay over there. She had a set of twins, the one trying to stand as a ewe lamb, and that was actually the second one born. And then a really nice ram lamb. Pretty even set. I'm going to guess they're probably around 9 or 10 pounds each. So very pleased. Nice strong lambs. Like I say, it's over 50 degrees today. I think it was 54 today. So don't have to worry about them chilling or anything like that. Got their cords dipped in the iodine, got their enemas, and gave them their colostrum. So dried them off with a towel. And she drank a little bit of water. So we're off to a really good start. Out here doing the last night check before I go to bed on the ewe. The twins are all settled in, doing well. These poor does, they're due any day now, and that girl there looks like a beached whale. My guess is she'll probably have triplets, but because 6 of these had triplets last year. I hope we don't get that many sets this year, but she's awfully big. So these are all due anywhere, well, this week. So they should all be having them pretty much by the weekend. So we'll see what happens and see how it goes. Wednesday morning, February 26th. It's about 40 degrees. We had just a little bit of rain this morning. It's overcast. I opened the barn up today. I did yesterday too. We got quite a manure pack in here and it's starting to compost, and this warmer weather with it closed up, it really gets humid and ammonia kind of builds up. So I may have to leave the garage door open. Not all the way up, but just get a little bit, or I may open the windows. I think I'll probably try that first. Get a little ventilation in here. No action with the does or the ewes today. We're going to band these lambs today, tag them. Yeah, they're doing really well. And castrate the ram. And then I've been a manure fork today trying to pick up some hay. So I've got to take that off. I've got some extras. I take those out for bale spearing, so it works pretty well. But I'll be missing one when I go to haul manure, but I think we'll be okay. Getting ready to band and tag these lambs. You can see there's a lot of milk stool on the tail. Right there, this lamb especially. All stuck there. Need to clean that off. And part of what happens, or why that happens, all mammals, when they're born, the first 24 hours, the colostrum is very important. It has the antibodies to protect them from disease, and those are proteins. And so the intestinal lining absorbs those proteins intact. They don't digest them. They're absorbed intact into the bloodstream. And that's how they get their antibody levels up. That function stays open for about 24 hours, possibly a little longer. And then those windows close, if you will, and then the digestion begins. So that first stool coming through is that stool that has not been digested. It's just what's left from the proteins haven't been absorbed and taken out of it. And then they start digesting it, and then that's when they form that hard milk stool. So we'll clean all that off, because you have to watch that, because she's a really good milking ewe, so they've got a lot of that stool. And that can stick to the underside of the tail and actually dry, and then they get constipated. So you have to watch for that. So we'll get that cleaned off, get them tagged, and get them banded. Finish the banding and tagging. You can see the green band on the tail there. They experience a little bit of discomfort, I'm not going to lie. But the pain receptors aren't fully developed early on, so it's minimal. Once that goes numb, they'll be fine. It lasts maybe 5, possibly 10 minutes, but it's not unbearable. It's better than the alternative, waiting later or doing a sharp knife or a hot iron, something like that, so it's more humane. So they'll be okay. This doe here is one of the first ones due, and her udder has really filled up since last night, so I don't know that she's sunken there on the sides, but they're due this week. I've been saying that all along, but last year they went about 152 to 153 days, and we're right at that right now, so I'll keep an eye on her today. She was kind of looking at her sides there, so I don't know. We'll see. And these over here the same way. One of these, actually the gold one standing up there, according to my record, she's one of the first ones due, but we'll see. But hopefully we get these babies here while the weather is still not super cold. And those two ewes there, they're due. One's due tomorrow, one's due in 3 days. So, and they usually go pretty much on time, so we'll be glad when we get all those done. Lambs are getting pretty good size, so I expanded the creep areas a little bit tight. So they're eating grain really well and eating hay. That's number 8, the youngest lamb. He's really grown well. So we're doing well down here. We were out shopping for office furniture for our home office, and on our way home, and I checked the barn camera, and this doe was in early labor, And if you watch closely as she circles, you'll see a head sticking out. And she actually went ahead and delivered standing. And when we got here, that's a little buckling. She had the first kid about half hour, 45 minutes ago. She just laid down and she's working on her second one. I suspect she's going to have triplets as big as she is and the size of the first kid. First kid's a buckling, and he was upstanding already. Hasn't nursed yet, but we'll get him to nurse. But based on his size, I'm thinking she'll have at least triplets. We'll see. She just had her second one, a little doeling. It actually came breech, but she pushed it out all right. Small as they are, they generally pop these right out. Another dark brown one like her. So shouldn't be too much longer. She'll have some more. There goes the third one. Right there. She had him standing up. Got a little sack on him. So triplets, I think that's all. There's two pretty good sized ones and one smaller one. But we'll wait and see. I don't know. She was pretty big. Pretty markings on these. They're dark chestnut like she is. And white on the head on the two bigger ones. I think the little one, the little doeling, I think she's just solid chestnut. We'll wait and see till they're all dry. I think we're going to have 4. Here it comes. Pretty sure. It's hard for me to judge. This is only my second year of goats, and I thought these didn't look real big. I mean, triplets can be smaller, but I'm sure she's having a 4th one. You can see her reaching through that pen. Goats are very aggressive. They bite. So you have to watch when you're handling them, because they will bite you. She's bit that ewe twice. I put this solid petition here up because she was reaching through biting her lambs. So and the babies are very vocal. There it is, number 4. It's our first set of quads ever. I hope she's done. Normally I would tube these with colostrum, but with the amount of milk she has, I'm going to help them get them on there to nurse. The 3 bigger ones are all pretty even. Then there's one smaller one, but she's got plenty of colostrum there, and we got to take the pressure off her udder. So I have to be careful going in there because she'll bite me. So I'll probably tie her up by the horns and then make sure they all nurse. Got her secured by the horns because I learned last year that they will bite you. So just for safety reasons, till we get these kids taken care of. Doesn't hurt her, and she can see her babies. She's being a very good mother. She was good last year. Like I said, goats are very aggressive when they have their babies, and they will bite you. So that's why you tie them up. She is a huge udder. So we milked out 8 ounces of colostrum and tubed the babies, gave them all 2 ounces each. They're not super big kids, so I didn't want to overfeed them. And some of them were nursing from her. Since she has such a large udder, we're going to milk her out probably later this evening or tomorrow morning, because they're not going to consume it all. And we'll freeze the colostrum, And then you can keep it frozen for at least a year. We'll freeze it and date it. And then if we need it this year, we'll have it, or next year, you know, we'll have some on hand. And that way you just thaw it out and you can tube them. So we'll do that later. We're out here for the evening check. They're about 4 hours old. And before I went in for dinner about 2 hours ago, they had all nursed off of her very well. We're full, and they're using the brooder well. If you notice, the kids are swatting their tails a lot. That's usually a sign they haven't passed meconium. So I gave them an enema, and they passed quite a bit. You can see it right there. There's all of that right there. And that came out of that little one right there. So that's an indication that they need there. See, that one's passing it. So don't see that a lot on lambs, but on the kids you do. I had given this one earlier. I thought I'd get them all, but obviously I didn't get it inside good enough. So I gave these 3 enemas, and boy, they've passed a lot of meconium. And the importance of that is if they don't pass that, then the milk they drink, it doesn't go ahead and pass. And then they get, well, like colicky, you know, abdominal pains, and they don't eat and they don't absorb the milk. And see, she's passing a little bit there yet. So it's really important to get that meconium out. And this little guy here, he had passed it earlier, and he's nursed and he's resting pretty comfortably. So we have decided not to milk her out and freeze the colostrum, because with the 4 babies, they'll probably keep the pressure off the udder. If it builds up too much, then we'll milk it out. But I think they're going to do a pretty good job of that. So thank you for joining us at Norwal Farm as we celebrate our first set of quadruplets at Norwal Farm. Thanks again.